Shelf with Christine and Katie. You may notice we have some new surroundings here. We're coming to you live from the brand new Middletown, New Jersey History Room.
Yay! Definitely come see it. There's a nice fireplace.
So this month we're sharing with you some of our favorite and upcoming thrillers, which we both think is a perfect genre for the summertime, especially late night around a campfire.
Yes. So, for those who may not know, a thriller is characterized by elements of suspense, tension, and of course, high stakes. They aim to keep readers guessing with fast-paced plots full of course, twists and turns. And it relies more on the emotional engagement of the story rather than like a lot of gore.
There are many different subgenres of thrillers. There's your psychological, your thriller, your crime, your horror, action. We have a few picks that go across all of these genres for you to pick.
Yes, very exciting. So as always, settle in, grab a cup of your favorite beverage, and enjoy these recommendations. Feel free to read them now or add them to your TBR list for the future. And of course, if you wish to be notified of new videos, be sure to like and subscribe below. And if you have any recommendations for us, feel free to put them in the comments as well.
Exactly. Let us know in the comments about what you think about these picks too. And we always love extra titles. So yes. Katie, why don't you get us started with some picks by Annie, our coworker who absolutely loves the genre.
Yes, so Annie inspired this video, big advocate of the thriller genre. So to start off, we have one of her favorites. We have actually two of her recommendations by author Lisa Jewell. The first one is None of This Is True, which is about a psychological thriller about Alex Summer, a podcaster who meets Josie, a woman with a troubled past, on their shared 45th birthday. What a way to meet somebody. Josie convinces Alex to feature her life story on her podcast. Through digging into her story, Alex uncovers dark secrets and questions the nature of truth that Josie is telling her. Dun 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 dun. Her newest novel, Don't Let Him In, is due out in June, and this is obviously another psychological thriller in case you were wondering what video you were watching. And this is about the lives of three seemingly unconnected women who are brought together in a shocking collision course and wishing they had heeded the warning, don't let him in. Obvious first rule of a horror movie.
Now we have two more recommendations by another one of her favorite authors, J.T. Ellison. First up, we have A Very Bad Thing. This novel is about the murder of an author at the pinnacle of their career. The investigation reveals secrets about her past that threaten to destroy everything and everyone she knows.
Dun, 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 dun.
Her newest book, Last Scene, is due out in August. And this psychological thriller explores the bonds of family and the disconnect between memory and the truth when Haley James discovers her mother didn't die in a car crash years ago. She was murdered. And her father lied about it all this time.
Oh, great move. The next one we have recommendations for you. The first one is by Mary Kubica. It's called The Other Misses. And this is about Sadie and Will Faust's neighbor is found murdered shortly after they relocate to a coastal island off of Maine. See, it's Maine, you can't trust it. Stephen King started it and that will never end. And Sadie becomes increasingly involved in uncovering the truth about the murder and the secrets about their new community. What an unfortunate way to move into a new place. And the next one is called Local Woman Missing by the same author, Mary Kubica. And this is a suspenseful thriller about the disappearance of two women and one's daughter in a peaceful community, or so they say. The community is thrown into panic when the daughter returns years later as the shocking truth of their disappearances are revealed.
Next we have This Is How I Lied by Heather Goodenkoff. When new evidence emerges in the 25-year-old cold case of her best friend's murder, Detective Maggie Kennedy O'Keefe takes the lead in reopening the investigation, exposing secrets and uncovering a dark truth about what really happened in the small town of Grotto, Iowa.
Interesting.
Small towns.
Yes.
To watch out.
Exactly. First Maine, now small towns. Okay, and the last one of Annie picks is called Gone by Mo Hader. And this is about, they are investigating a serial carjacker whose actual targets are young children in backseats. Not a great move. And this is about Jack Cavery teams up once again with a police diver, Sergeant Flea Marley, interesting name, whose life is endangered by a discovery in an abandoned half-submerged tunnel. Interesting.
Yes. So now we have some new thrillers that are coming out this year. First up, Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister.
Love this author.
We've previously recommended her Wrong Place, Wrong Time as one of our favorite thrillers with a time travel twist.
Yes, highly recommend.
Her latest, Famous Last Words, looks to be another favorite. Camille's world is upended when her husband disappears after committing a terrifying crime. How well does she really know him, and what danger is she in if her whole life has been built on a lie?
Always the question, how much do we know everyone?
Yes.
Our next new recommendation that we have for you is called The Note by Alistair Burke. And these are about three friends who go away for a few days after not seeing each other for a couple of years. But their trip takes a dark turn when a drunken prank played on a couple they bumped into that day turns into a police investigation when the couple goes missing. Just a nice way to end a vacation. Secrets are revealed and loyalties are tested in this page-turning thriller. Sounds really good.
Yes. Next up, we have The Crash by Frida McFadden. We all know this author. And this is the latest thriller from the best-selling author and physician McFadden. Pregnant Tegan becomes stranded in a blizzard in rural Maine.
Of course.
She is rescued by a couple, but soon discovers they are keeping her captive and endangering both herself and her unborn child.
Okay, and the next one is an author that we've recommended before, but highly recommend. It's called The Queens of Crime by Marie Benedict. If nothing else describes this author, I don't know what is. This novel is set in 1930s London and features 5 renowned female crime writers. You might have heard of some of these. Dorothy L. Sayers, Agatha Christie, Neo Marsh, Marjorie Allingham, and Baroness Emma Ortsey, who form a secret society to prove their worth in a male-dominated literary world. Sounds really great.
Yes. Next, we have Presumed Guilty by Scott Turow. This is the third and final book featuring Rusty Savage, who is now a retired judge who was drawn back into the legal system at the request of his fiancée to defend his soon-to-be stepson, Aaron, who is accused of killing his girlfriend. For Rusty, the question has never been whether he should defend Aaron or whether he is innocent. It's whether the system can provide true justice for those who are presumed guilty. In the previous 2 books, I found out he had his own run-ins.
Oh, that's
where
cool.
he was innocent, but
Yeah.
not presumed innocent.
Very nice. Okay, and our next recommendation is called Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. And this is about Grady's life is turned upside down when he finds his wife's car at the edge of a cliff and she is nowhere to be seen. A year later, still reeling from her disappearance, he goes to a remote Scottish island hoping to re-inspire his writing career. But he notices things are not what they seem. What is happening on this island? And who is this woman that looks like his missing wife? Questions.
Questions. Next, we have Heartwood by Amity Gage. A nurse, needing to recoup from the trauma of treating patients during COVID, embarks on a 5-month journey to hike the Appalachian Trail in Maine. Soon, after telling her husband she no longer loves him, she vanishes, and search and rescue teams race against time to find her. This was inspired by the real-life tragedy of Geraldine Largay, who disappeared on the trail and whose body was found 2 years later. This one's on one of my hit lists.
Honestly, I love it when they base it on a real-life person. That's always exciting to me.
I don't know if the ending's the same. I don't know that, but I can't wait to find out.
I kind of want to put it on my TBR now, so
Yeah.
that works for me. Okay, and another favorite New Jersey author who we've recommended before, and you might have heard of, this is Nobody's Fool by Harlan Coben. And 20 years ago, Sammy woke up beside his girlfriend Anna, dead with a knife in his hand. The best way to wake up. Now he swears a woman who eerily resembles Anna walked into his class and fled. She could have just been scared of the class, I'm just saying. He must unravel, therefore he must unravel the truth of what happened in Spain all those years ago while confronting a past mistake that has resurfaced. Sounds really interesting.
Yeah. Next up, we have The Maid's Secret by Nita Prose.
Who we known, we loved, we cried.
So this is a cozy mystery thriller, and it features our headmaid Molly once again. When a priceless antique is stolen during reality show filming, Molly and her friends must uncover a secret from her grandmother's past to solve the mystery and find the treasure.
I have this book waiting at home. I can't wait to read it. Okay, and the next one we have to recommend that is a new one is called Close Your Eyes and Count to 10 by Lisa Unger. And this is about Adele enters a high-stakes survival game on a remote island, but this reality show soon turns deadly with a hidden threat stalking the contestants, turning the game into a desperate fight for survival. Sounds like Survivor.
Kind
Interesting.
of, yeah. Then we have With a Vengeance by Riley Sager.
Another New Jersey author.
And another wonderful thriller writer, too.
I thought you were going to say Maine.
Anna seeks retribution against 6 people who destroyed her family in 1942. So she lures them onto a train to have them arrested at the journey's end.
Sounds
However,
similar.
once a murder occurs on the train, she must decide whether to help them or let them be victims of another killer.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun.
Okay, and another author who we recommended before and we've loved, this is Marble Hall Murders by Anthony Horowitz. And Susan's had enough of murder, don't we all? After editing 2 novels about the famous detective Atticus Pine, both times almost getting killed, but she has been lured into editing a 3rd. Oh, poor girl. When she finds out, however, the author believes his grandmother, also a well-known author, was deliberately poisoned and he has hidden the killer's identity in the book, she knows she is in trouble once again.
Well, I would have taken that 3rd book.
Honestly, just saying, you had a choice.
Then we also have The Woman in Suite 11 by Ruth Ware. And this is a follow-up to Ware's best-selling book, The Woman in Cabin 10. And it finds Lo Blacklock returning to her travel journalism career after a 3-year hiatus. She's attending the opening of a luxury Swiss hotel when a late-night call sets her off on a cat and mouse pursuit across Europe.
So just think it'd be really different if she moved 1 number over. Just saying.
And now we have a few of our personal
Yes.
favorites.
So you might have heard these before, but we're never going to stop recommending these. And the first one is 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. And this is the story of a bookseller who finds himself at the center of an FBI investigation because of a very clever killer has started using his list of most ingenious murders and replicating those murders in real life. Joy. To protect himself, he begins looking into the suspects himself. Full of great plot twists. We highly recommend this.
Then we have The Poacher's Son by Paul Dorian. Desperate and alone, game warden Mike Bowditch strikes up an uneasy alliance with a retired warden pilot, and together the 2 men journey deep into the Maine wilderness in search of a runaway fugitive, Mike's father. But the only way for Mike to save his father is to find the real killer, which could mean putting everyone he loves in the line of fire. And now Katie's personal favorite.
And this is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I will never stop recommending this. This is a classic gothic thriller. If you haven't heard it by now, you definitely should. And this story revolves around a young woman's struggle with her new husband's obsession with his deceased first wife, Rebecca, creating a sense of suspense and mystery. And the film adaptation is by Alfred Hitchcock and is considered his first American thriller. I highly recommend watching and reading this book, though. They're both amazing. Highly recommend. And I will never stop mentioning it.
So we hope you do enjoy these picks. Let us know in the comments any of your favorite thrillers. But again, until next time, happy reading.
Take care.
Take care.